Hello, welcome to a movie review. Um, the James Bond movie. I saw the movie a few weeks ago, but I finally have a time to sit down and do the review. So this portion is gonna be spoiler free, and then in about a few minutes I will go into the spoiler filled review, and then you can turn it off for those that haven't seen the movie. I enjoyed the movie. Um, the trailer looked fantastic. Okay, the trailer looked beautiful. Um, and so I'm excited to see the movie. And my overall take of the movie was it's a good movie. It's the Bonds movie. Okay, so I there's nothing really in there that I can say that it's bad in general. Did I like it less than the previous Bond movie? Yes. Uh, I can't remember what my rating was for the previous Bond movie, but this one is a notch lower. And I will, in the spoiler part of the review, I will explain why I give it a notch lower. But overall, I still like it. Daniel Craig make a pretty good Bonds. What I like about this Bond movie, as well as the previous three Bond movie, even though Quantum Solace was kind of not good. It was not. A lot of people hate Quantum Solace. I thought it was okay. It's definitely the weakest of the four Daniel Craig Bond movie, but it was not horrible as some people would say. It's a bad movie. I thought it was okay. Um, but I think what's kind of unique about the Daniel Craig Bond movie, how the four movies are more ties in together compared to previous Bond movie. Previous Bond movie it was more like a one shot story with very little linkage to any other movies. Okay, there might be a veiled reference to a previous criminals or organization, but it's not really a character or plot point that carry through all four movies. This is different. This Bond series with Daniel Craig is somewhat different, where it's more linear and kind of link all the movies together. And that I thought was I like that. I like that kind of direction that they did with Bond. So for that, I liked it. The story was good. The structure of the overall story was good. Okay, um, and so overall, is I was not disappointed. I paid my money to see the movie, and I walked out feeling satisfied. It's a Bond movie, so I probably give the movie 2.75 star out of 4. Okay, that's gonna be my rating. Not quite 3 out of 4, but it's between 2 and 3/4, maybe just under 3. Okay, that's how I would give the movie. It's not quite a 3 out of 4, but somewhere between 2 and 3/4 and 3 would be my rating. Okay, so now I can go into my spoiler filled review. So for those that want to stick around to hear some spoilers, go ahead, stick around. Otherwise, thank you for watching and bye bye. Okay, as I mentioned in my spoiler free part of the review, I like the overall story. I felt part of the movie was poorly executed in for example, we all are familiar by now with the way any Bond films open. Okay, you got this action sequence. Okay, and is it me or the action sequence in this movie longer than just about any other Bond movie we ever seen? Actually, that was my reaction. The first, I think it lasted over 10, 12 minutes. It was a long, drawn out sequence, which I liked in the beginning. But once the bad guy went down into the crowd and run through the crowd, I start to get annoyed. In my view, is it? I'm just like, when is this gonna be over? I mean, and then the helicopter. the whole thing with the helicopter to me was very poorly done because the whole action sequence when the copter land in the crowd just open a nice big circles, how convenient, and then Bond had a big fight with the bad guy and the helicopter pilot. I mean, it was like there was like no care for what happened to the crowd. Bond was going all out to kill this guy, as if there's no civilian risk below him. It was, I mean, sure, I understand that's part of what they were trying to say, that Bond is out of control into this vengeance mode, but to me it was just way, it crossed the common sense. Bond has always had great action, but for the most part, especially in the previous three Daniel Craig Bond movie, the action was more believable. When the helicopter thing was spinning and it get into the realm of Fast and Furious kind of action for me. The car chase with Batista was pretty cool. I just didn't like the ending. Once again, the ending of the action sequence was clunky. Just like the helicopter thing, it was great, but then hit the button and the car jumped backward into the land. I didn't like that part, but minor point. The female lead in this was good. I like her. I liked her in the Mission Impossible. She played uh, the bad, the evil character in that movie. She's, I wouldn't be surprised at all if she ended up in some kind of Marvel or superhero movie because she had that physicality that you need in a female action hero, and she's young. She's not overly gorgeous, but she's beautiful, and she has the action chop. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if somehow she will end up in a Marvel or DC movie in the future, just because there's always a need to find more female action hero. I'm all for that. So like I said, the story was good. The action sequence that was way over the top that annoys me was the scene where Bond was flying the plane chasing the convoy. Wow, that is insane. Okay, I mean it's cool, but it's insane, and it's more Fast and Furious kind of insane than Bond insane, and that was a little bit way over the top for me. The worst part is here you have, to me, the John Batista character. He doesn't have any lines, basically. He's just one strong brute. Bonds could have put a bullet into the back of his head after the car's crash, yet he walked away. To me, it doesn't make any sense. You having this guy, why don't you make sure that he's dead? You're talking about a nemesis that you met for the second time, or third time. I don't know. Like I said, Bond have had enough tussle with this brute to know that if he's down, make sure he's down. So I would rather have a sequence where the car was crashing and Batista was thrown out of the car and rolled down the side of the hill or something. That's how he escaped and survived. Than Bond just left him there to wake up. So that's one of my biggest problems with the movie. Was just like they could have done a better job in that action sequence. It's crazy enough with the plane, him navigating the plane through the hills, all that stuff. It's just insane. It's insane. The main bad guy, I'm not too crazy about. He was, I seen him in a few other movies. I can never say the word, that one with Brad Pitt, Incongruous Bastard. That Tarantino movie. It's a good movie, but somehow he didn't come across all that believable as an evil. He was more annoying with his voice than evil compared to the previous villain in the previous Bond movie. I think he was kind of weak, and then near the end, as always, if you're gonna kill Bond, kill Bonds. Why are you doing these things that, to me, as in most Bond movie, you expect the bad guy to want to kill Bond, but once again, he's in a room with just the bad guy and the girl and one other scientist. There's no other guards in there. Every way possible to allow Bond to, of course, escape. So that's kind of like cliche. But the ending was satisfying. I like the ending. Once again, I'm a firm believer that in so many action movies, Bonds included, superhero movies, there's a way to end the movie without killing the bad guy. I'm so tired of having the bad guy fall off the cliff, die, or whatever. It just to me it's more impactful sometimes to have the bad guy survive, and I think the ending of the movie was satisfying, except for, of course, once again, crazy action. Bond shooting down a helicopter with his pistol at night, far away. That whole scene was like, I'm just like, come on, give the man a rifle, a submachine gun, or something, a pistol. How many people can hit and knock down the helicopter with a pistol a couple 100 yards away? Come on now. Like I said, the whole premise of the story is good, but some of the action scene was just so outlandish and silly and stupid at times that I'm annoyed. That's my reaction. I think that's what hurt the movie the most. If the action scene was done better, more believable, I think the movie would have got a higher rating for me because I enjoyed the story. I just thought that some of the many of the action sequence was not done very well in my opinion. And that's it. That's my review for the movie Spectre. I hope you've seen it. If you've seen it, I'd love to hear what you say. Bye.